Lots of interesting hardware coming from Gamescom. And we're starting with Thrustmaster of all places. This is an article by traction.gg and you should check it out. They are releasing a new direct drive that will have PlayStation 5 compatibility. They've released a T818 about a year and a half ago. It wasn't very well received, though it seems to have very good force feedback. It wasn't very well received because it seemed to be lacking in terms of quick release and features, and also because it wasn't compatible with PlayStation 5. A lot of drivers still want to retain their Thrustmaster equipment because it is expensive jumping into other ecosystems. So something like this is something that a lot of drivers in the PlayStation are actually wanting. They want a direct drive without changing all the ecosystems into something else because they like Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster does have decent force feedback in the TGT and the T300 and all of that. So they just want to go the step above without, jumping between ecosystems. They haven't shown the direct drive formats. It's likely going to be more or less like the T818 with compatibility with the PC, maybe. The guys at Traction says it has really good force feedback, and they haven't said the price nor the time it's going to be released specifically, but it should be this year or early next year. But the things that are really interesting are coming from Moza. Moza has been having a great deal of releases lately. Last year they had the trucking wheel that a lot of trucker simmers wanted, and they also had the inverted mount for their wheelbases, so you can drive it like a truck. Very interesting. They are looking at the products as opportunities to release something that people want, and this is something that drivers want. They want a multifunction stock. There haven't been really implementations about this, maybe jerry-rigged by some enthusiasts, but not something that was developed by companies like Moza. With this, you can get a bunch of inputs programmed that you would normally use either on a box or on your steering wheel, like the blinkers, lights, and wipers and all of that. And with this, essentially, you can bind it to the stocks, and this will actually be compatible with not just with Moza, but with other steering wheels manufacturers or wheelbase manufacturers via some sort of compatibility plate. They haven't said which ones they are, but it will be compatible with those as well. They are not trying to close everybody off. Another piece of equipment that they just shown, this is more interesting than it is desirable in my opinion, but it does show that Moza is trying to increase their perceived quality at the very least. It's this Moza Porsche partnership where they have the Mission R wheel. In terms of inputs, it's not a wheel with a terrible amount of inputs. You basically have like 10 or 15 plus a couple of rotary switches, and that's basically it. It does have a display, a multifunction display that will be compatible with their own software, sadly not SimHub. But even though it is really not that desirable, at least in my opinion, it does show that they want two things out of this. They want to show potential partners that they can release something that feels and looks high quality, and also that likely in the future they'll be releasing something that will have more inputs, even above probably than the FSR wheel. This is very much in line with the Fanatec BMW M4 wheel, which is something that is not really that useful for sim racing, but it shows like it has quality on the build. But I'm expecting that maybe in the future they'll be releasing a wheel that will be, very good looking, that will have also very high quality, and it will have more useful features for sim racing. However, all of this starts to become really interesting with Moza new pedals, and they have released, or they are going to release, the CRP2 pedals. They have released the CRP1s in 2020 or 2021 when they started doing sim racing. They had issues. They have been releasing revisions on the design, and now they are doing a new version of it where the design is uplifted and some of the issues that people complained about were corrected. In terms of designs, it has like a mixed match between Moza, Simagic, and a bit of SimiQ pedal faces, which I think they look just fine. The pedals are not the best looking, but also not the worst looking out there. As long as they fix what they had in terms of issues from the CRP1, it should be okay and everybody will be happy with it. However, that is not the biggest thing about Moza pedals. This will be an add-on, the M Booster add-on for the CRP2s, I suppose, and will be active pedals. If you know active pedals. SimiCube has released them a couple of years ago, and it's a very bulky piece of set. It's $2,500 per pedal. Very, very expensive. Most will go just with the brake and then use like the throttle from something else or their own dump throttle. I'm using the word dump in very liberal ways. The huge advantage of an active pedal is that you can basically do whatever you want with them. And also the pedal will give you force feedback of the ABS, if the tires are locking and all of that stuff, you can feel it through the pedal. And the pedal is almost infinitely adjustable. So there's a lot of advantages of a force feedback pedal, but the disadvantage is because it's the first real iteration of it. SimiCube could ask whatever they wanted about the price of the pedals. Of course, the size, it's going to be very, very large. That means it's really expensive and not everybody can either afford it or can put it on their rig because they are really long. With Moza, they are going another way. They are trying to make everything smaller. Likely it won't be as strong, but probably it's not going to be needed to be as strong. But because they are in line with the pedal face, instead of being down like you can see over here, this means that they can make everything a little bit smaller. The design is more compact and likely it's going to be cheaper. It's also likely that the first iterations of the firmware of this, it's not going to be, something that it's going to be way, way out there. There's going to be a lot of revisions likely on the firmware, but the experience from the get-go, it will be completely different from what everybody else is accustomed that haven't tried active pedals. So this is something really interesting to check out. I have requested a review unit of it. They haven't got it available at the moment, so probably in the future I will get one, and I'm really interested about this. Of all places, Gamescom is delivering us like huge bombshells with this active pedal. I'm really interested about this. Let us know below what you are expecting out of this hardware, what you think it's going to be the best. What are you expecting of Sim Racing Expo as well? Let us know below. See you next time.